Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the most offensive podcast ever. I'm Slimmy V, and today I'm going to be talking about Dr. Fauci and his little soliloquy today. The only thing about this little soliloquy that I actually agree with is that COVID affected mostly black and browns. What he's not talking about is why. I am going to let you listen to this, but before I do, I would like you to consider hitting that like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Now, without further ado, let's listen to what he had to say.
COVID-19 has shown a bright light on our own society's failings. Our country's experience with COVID-19 has not only upended our own lives, but it has uncovered a stark reality and failing of our own society. The unacceptable disparities in health experienced by minority groups, especially African Americans, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Many members of minority groups have a much greater risk of COVID-19, often because of the nature of the jobs that many of them have as essential workers in society. More importantly, when people of color get infected with SARS-CoV-2, they more likely will develop a severe consequence of the infection. And this is because minorities in general have a greater incidence and prevalence of underlying comorbid medical conditions, including hypertension, chronic lung disease, diabetes, and obesity, that lead to a multifold increase in hospitalizations and deaths from COVID-19 compared with the general population. Now, very few of these comorbidities have racial determinants. Almost relate to the social determinants of health, dating back to disadvantageous conditions that some people of color find themselves in from birth regarding the availability of an adequate diet, access to health care, and the undeniable effects of racism in our society. Let us promise ourselves that our corporate memory of this tragic reality, that an infectious disease disparately hospitalizes and kills people of color, does not fade after we return to some form of normality. Righting this wrong will take a decades-long commitment. I strongly urge you to be part of that commitment.
Okay. You've heard what he had to say, and I'm going to respond to it. Okay. Let me leave it right there. So, what he's talking about and what so many have talked about is the fact that black and brown people have been affected mostly, okay, more so than whites and other cultures, right? And the reason is not just because we're black and the jobs that we do. First of all, I think number one, most of the time we pick the jobs that we do. Most black people are in the nursing field. If we weren't, right, then they would say, oh, there's a race thing going on here. They don't want to hire black people in that. So it's basically damn if you do, damn if you don't. Now let me go to some of the why it affects black people more, which is the only thing that I actually agree with Dr. Fauci on. Let me expound on that. Our eating habit, nutritionally and culturally, is horrible, bad, okay? Of course you're gonna get diabetes, hypertension, and some heart disease if you keep eating fried foods. If you keep drinking soda, okay, you order pork fried rice with 4 fried wings, and on top of that, you're gonna gulp down a Coke. If you do that long enough, you're gonna develop some diseases. Okay? Let's not mention just because McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Kentucky Fried Chicken is right there at the corner does not mean that you have to go there. Does not mean that you have to eat there. They are just there because you are going there. If you stop going there, they'll stop opening these stores. That doesn't mean for you to have a Big Mac, large fries, and 3-liter soda every single day. Okay? Now, let's not act like you don't know where a fruit and vegetable stand is. Let's not act like eating healthy is really expensive. It's not. You could buy a juicer for less than $200. Buy your fruits and veggies and juice up. You can go to the gym, right? For $10 a month on a membership. And you can go and work out. And even if you didn't have $10, what's the excuse? Work at home. Let's break that cycle. Because most of the time, diabetes, these type of conditions is passed down from generation to generation. Why? Because culturally, how do we eat? Okay, I live in a Haitian household all my life. And how we eat is starch, rice, chicken, macaroni, potato, lasagna, and you got this little bit of vegetables. And then after that, you're probably gulping down 4 liters of Pepsi or something. Now, if you grow up in a household like that, chances of you getting diabetes, hypertension, or some type of disease is really high. But if you change all of that, nothing of that nature will affect you. Let's not act like buying vitamins, minerals, and going to these organic shop is really it's not that expensive. It's not that expensive. It's more expensive to go to the doctor, okay? Stay in a hospital, have them run blood tests, okay? Do surgeries, maybe get operated on. That's actually a lot more expensive than going to the health store, following a nice diet, sticking to it, changing your lifestyle, okay? Because health is wealth. Health is the new wealth. Trust me, yo, we got liquor like in the black neighborhoods. Why? Because black people want to drink liquor, right? So if you guys stop buying liquor, stop drinking it, I guarantee you they will take it off because they will start losing money. There's no way they're going to have a liquor store open up in a black neighborhood and nobody's walking in there to buy anything. They're going to close shop. So I understand what Dr. Fauci is saying. How all these things affected black people, how we were primarily affected by COVID-19. Yes, because we have all these conditions. We have all these pre-existing diseases. I get it. I totally get it. But we got to change our eating habit. We got to change our culture. We got to change our nutrition. We got to exercise more. We got to drink more water. It's not expensive to boil water. It's not expensive to probably buy a filter for your sink. So there are a lot of stuff that we can do to decrease all of this. The way we live, the way we act, the way we talk, the way we think. Sometimes we stress ourselves out. Pick better jobs. While you at school, pick a better career. You have that choice. The reason why some black people are not in these predominantly white careers is because you don't pick them. You're not in that path. Black people, we know how to do better. Okay? We seen blacks come from Haiti, come to America, open up shops. We've seen it. But then what we don't see from the black Americans is them doing that same thing because for some reason, I don't know, a lot of the black Americans that's born and raised here are stuck on welfare and would rather get government help. They're more likely to go eat the hamburgers and the cheeseburgers and the Big Macs and the curly fries and cheese on top of it, fried chicken, Pepsi, Coke, Sprite, 7 Up. They're more likely to do all of this, end up on welfare, rely on the government, get low paying jobs. But you don't see a lot of that from people from maybe Jamaica, Haiti, Barbados, Trinidad. Like a lot of them, they come from these countries and they come here and they work hard. So there's two different type of black peoples: the Caribbean, and then there's the American blacks. So I'm hoping and praying that the Caribbean have a stronger influence on the American blacks. You know, because it's two different culture. But from the Caribbean, culturally, nutritionally, we're not where we should be. We could do better. You know, I'm just dropping truth bombs right now. We could do better. If you find yourself going 2 or 3 days without doing a push-up, sit-up, or a plank in your house or something, that's you. That's your choice. If you find yourself going 24 hours without drinking a glass of water, that's your choice. You chose to do that. If you find yourself not reading maybe scripture or something positive, putting positive into your mind, that's your choice. You're looking for that stress. If you looking to gossip, if you drinking and you are partaking in all these negative activity that affects your mind, it affects your soul and your body, that's your choice. You could do better. You could be better. And it's not too late to start over. Start losing some weight, start exercising, start eating right, and most importantly, start thinking positive. We're going to be a lot better. And then we won't be affected by all these viruses that comes up. Because we don't only get affected by food, but once these viruses come, who is it going to affect more? Someone that's eating healthy or someone that's not, that's deficient in these nutrition and vitamins and minerals? Who? That's all I've got to say. I'm not going to make this any longer. I could go on and on and on about this. It is so interesting, but I just wanted to point it out to you, and hopefully maybe I hurt some feelings. Maybe hopefully I opened up some eyeballs. Maybe hopefully I've energized you enough to go out there and do what you got to do to make you a better person. I'm Slimmy V, and this is the most offensive podcast ever. God bless, stress less, and let Yahweh give you rest. I'm out. Peace.